Stamped with Aloha. Today I have a really beautiful pineapple paper crafted card to share with you. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to show you is what inspired today's card. This is an exclusive Stampin' Up lunch tote that you can only purchase if you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And if you look at this lunch tote, you'll see a lot of our Stampin' Up colors. Night of Navy, Basic White, Coastal Cabana, we have some Pool Party, Flirty Flamingo, Old Olive, and in my card I even pulled in the zipper color, which is silver. So let me show you the card right here. Ta-da! Isn't it beautiful? I absolutely love the fact that I was able to create this card inspired by this bag, not even using any ink, but I exclusively made this card with our fabulous Stampin' Up dies. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to take you through step by step how to put this card together. We're going to start with a card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to fold this in half, and then I'll use a bone folder to give a nice clean flat fold. Next, I have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Night of Navy cardstock that I have used with my Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. So I've added the texture already by placing this in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to add adhesive to the back, and I'm going to glue this down. Next, we're going to be working with a card base of Basic White 2 1/4 by 4 inches, and then a silver foil that's 2.5 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So I've glued these two together, and then I'm going to use a scrap piece of Pool Party cardstock. I'm going to place the pineapple base and the pineapple crown, and I'm going to run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to die cut those pieces, and the end result will be 2 pieces that look like this. I love the fact that the way that it cuts the crown, it just gives it some dimension by having these little pieces that stick up like this. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Okay, so now I've used my liquid glue and I've adhered the pineapple to the base here. And now we want to add some dimensionals to the back, and we're going to add it onto the front of the card. All right, next for our sentiment, we're going to add the word aloha. So again, we don't need to have any stamps on this card. So instead, I'm going to use the die that says aloha here. Now I'm going to show you how you can add some height to that by using a piece of our foam adhesive. So this is a foam adhesive sheet. So I'm going to peel it, and then I'm going to take a scrap piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and I'm going to glue that on the top. Now you can see that the foam is glued on there. So I'll take my die, I'll place it on there, and then I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine. So after you die cut it, I'm going to use my piercing tool just to remove some of the centers, because this is super sticky. So I'm going to just pull out the center of the letters, okay? And then I'm going to carefully peel this off. Okay, so now we have the word aloha, and I'm going to carefully place this right in the center of the base of my pineapple. Okay, for our next step, we're going to add the flowers. So I have a bunch of flowers that I die cut from the Pierce Blooms dies, flowers and leaves. So I used the pale papaya color, as well as Flirty Flamingo, Old Olive, and Night of Navy. So the first flower I'm going to use is this one here. I'm going to grab a dimensional and place a dimensional behind the back. And then I'm going to place this flower right here at the top, okay? Next, I'm going to take this small flower here. I'm going to just dab a little bit of liquid glue behind there, and I'm going to layer that right on top of the papaya flower. Now, I want to add some leaves here, so I'm going to use this cluster here, but I only want to use these 2 leaves right here. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim this off. So now I've just trimmed that larger leaf so that we only have these 2 little leaves. I'm going to flip this over, add my adhesive, and stick it down. For the next step, I'm going to glue this leaf here. So I'm going to be using some liquid adhesive. And I'm going to place this on the bottom, but I want this to wrap up on the side and come right up here on the edge of the silver, okay? And then we're going to take this leaf here and we're going to glue this one down here at the bottom like this, okay? All right, so now we have our leaves on there, and so we're going to be adding this large flower. It's going to come right here. All right, so we're going to just take and we'll use our dimensional. So I'm going to use a dimensional here, and I'm going to use a dimensional here, and that's going to help to tack down those leaves. And then I'll place one more dimensional right there. I will peel the dimensionals, and then I'll go ahead and take my papaya flower, and I'm going to stick it right here. Okay, and then we're going to take and use my liquid adhesive to take this flower, and we're going to place that right there. So I had a larger flower here, but I'm going to be using this smaller flower. It's actually the same flower that is in the center there. So I'm going to add some adhesive behind here, and we're going to center that. All right, so it's coming together, just a couple more embellishments. Actually, I'm going to add one more flower. The nice thing about this particular die is when you do run it through the machine, it will cut 2 flowers at the same time. So I'm going to take this one and just throw this over here on the side. And now we're ready to embellish. So I'll be using my Artistry Blooms sequence, and I'm just going to pick a small sequence and put it here. I'll pick a small sequence and put it here. And then we'll use one of the blue colors and we'll put that right there. Okay, so that really ties in with that pineapple color. And then the last embellishment we're gonna do is one of these super cute little bee trinkets. These are something that have been in our catalog for a while, but I only recently discovered them, and I just think they are so, so cute. And especially with this card, because you know my message is always to be the aloha that you wish to see in the world. And so that's my little reminder to be the aloha. Last thing that I want to do to this card is I want to add an inside. So because this card is navy, unless you had like a gel pen, it would really be hard to see the writing. So I'm going to just open up this card. I'm going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Pool Party cardstock, and I'm just going to add this to the inside. So let's throw our adhesive on there like so, and put this on here. So this is my pineapple paper crafted card. Once again, that was inspired by this Stampin' Up lunch tote. So I hope you liked this project today. If you do, be sure to leave a comment after the video. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so, as I'd love to continue sharing my videos with you. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to stamping with you again soon. Until then, aloha.